Well, guys. Tomorrow is April 8th, solar eclipse. CERN is firing back up, and by the time you're watching this, CERN has opened up a portal to hell, and you're probably running from some demons right now. And so, welcome to Just Talk podcast. We can talk about it. We got Zach in the building. We got Mark in the building. We got CJ in the building. You know me, Skinny G, top notch till I drop. Internet the new block, and your brother not your op. And I've been running from demons all day. How about y'all, man? CERN out here doing, then messed it up.
Yeah, ain't no demons. Ain't no demons. Ain't no only demon I see is spirits and the ball. Man. That's all it is.
Yeah. I'm just playing around though. But
Me too.
we are shooting this future dated now. By the time the people see this, it might be some portals. They might have been successful with their portals, man. What y'all think they doing down there, man? It's been rumored that CERN. Well, I don't think it's a rumor that it's based. It was built on the old ancient Apollo temple site, which is Apollyon. So that's the god of the underworld. So I believe they know what they're doing, man.
Oh yeah. So you mean to tell me scientists who actually said believe in religion, actually going to religion, they basing their work off religion. These guys who try to do away with religion, separate the church and the state. Now they use their deepest and their best technology, and they're working with spirits now. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not telling you nothing. I mean, this is what CERN clearly does. They got deities all on the front porch of the property. Shiva throwing up the gang signs. You know, Shiva's the destroyer. It basically mimics the way that a particle behaves, and they say that's the reason why they got Shiva there. Because when she's doing a dance, it's
God
very
of the
similar. A particle behaves as a wave and as a function. So even back in the day, man, one's religion was science. You know what I mean? It's just the way that people interpret it. You know what I mean?
through that. Yeah, Shiva is known as the god of destruction. Yeah. So, but appreciate that intro. Yeah, tonight, man, we pretty much chopping it up about CERN, man. We've been hearing some things, and we want to put that together with the April 8th. Well, tomorrow's eclipse. I keep telling you about the date, but we're gonna top it and see what we can see what we a lot of good info. Yeah, so yeah, to get that sound. All right, man.
Yeah, I took my headphones off and put them back on and still doing the same thing.
It's all good.
Good
Well,
man. Yeah,
We got
so
we can let's get this audio together, man. I don't want to waste the footage. That's what the main thing we need to work on.
that's
Is
true. That
let's everybody do a sound check. All right, this me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hide your money, hide your bitch.
1, 2, 3. Got an echo. I know.
Calvin, turn your phone sideways.
Can you stop the recording for a minute? Restart, or once we live, we going.
You
Uh,
going?
now I think
Got
if
the
I end
edit.
it, I can. What you want me to try?
Yeah, you good. All right.
Yeah.
Shit, it's good now. I don't hear myself now. What I sound like to y'all?
you sound clear. Like you coming through like there's no breaks in it. Before it was sounding like it was breaking and it was more robotic.
Bet.
All right, so back to it, man. Only thing I can think of is they trying to experimental some to they allegedly experiment on opening them portals, or I don't know what actually the CERN is gonna actually do, but making particles go at the speed of light. I mean, that's like something that's unheard of that can't nobody else do but a machine. And to invent a machine to do that, why for what? I mean, that's mind boggling to me.
They trying to recreate the Big Bang. You know,
Exactly.
I,
I was gonna see how it was gonna play out, but
yeah.
the backstory to this, man, is they're trying to invent what they're called the God particle. They're
Hmm.
trying to invent what so-called started this Big Bang theory. But the Big Bang theory is true to a certain extent, as far as there is no this cosmos and all this other stuff people want to talk about. If you want to look at a star doesn't appear when you look under a microscope how you think it looks like. When you look at it, you're gonna be like, that's not how they're describing it. I know. 'Cause they're hoping that you're not gonna ever look.
Oh, a
Yeah,
telescope.
do that. And
You
so,
see what I'm saying? Because
and
they're telling you it's 12 constellations when it's really 13. It messed me up, man, because I'm thinking I'm a Sagittarius, but that's not true. Because it's a whole 13th month.
right. Hey, but to kind of put it in a nutshell about what I know to CERN to be is a particle collider, and it goes across what about 3 states or 3 counties? How big is it? Skinny? It goes
It's 1 mile wide.
1 mile wide across counties, and
More than
as
mile
Ziggy,
wide.
they're colliding particles to see what happens at the speed of light. And it can be dangerous, and it's known that it can be dangerous, of course, but that's why they're underground. The facility is underground, and they're experimenting, colliding particles, and they're looking for, like CJ said, the God particle, and they're looking to see if they can find any existence to recreate and also unlock things. And there are a lot of untold things too. It's like being unlocking. They really want to talk about the dimensions that they're unlocking, but they won't talk about it. But I bet they talk about it amongst themselves. And so with this big machine, and it can be explained a lot more scientific, I know, than the way I'm explaining it. But yeah, with this big machine, the way they're moving particles, they're trying to just, to me, like I said, they're trying to not play God, but they're trying to recreate the Big Bang to see what happens. I mean, I think when you go so far into not astrophysics but physics itself, you go down into the particles and everything, you start to see. So you start to see that you can't go only to a certain limit, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to go past that limit.
And that's exactly true, Marcus. The last time that do you the last time they fired the Hadron Collider, do you know what happened? It
What's
was
that?
the end of the Mayan calendar. And then that's when people say we were sucked into a portal and we've been living on the other side of that existence ever since. That's why they're talking about it's a parallel as far as, do you remember the Monopoly man with the little specular eyeglasses?
Yes, yes,
I do too.
me
Do you,
too.
Skinny?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of
But
things.
now they say there never was a specular. He never had eyeglasses.
Never had a spectacle. Yeah,
He
and
did have one.
And so what you're speaking about and you're tapping into is dimensions. And yeah, we can definitely talk about dimensions and how CERN could have blown up the world. You can say it as they blown up the world, or I think they released antimatter, and there are there are theories out there that say there are multi dimensions and there are different timelines, and we just got shifted to another timeline, and in this timeline we are seeing the difference, small differences, but these differences are noticed by us who I guess has been around for a while, the older generation.
That's because we haven't, either we're going to shift in consciousness or we're not going to be with the program anymore, as they used to say. You know what I'm saying? That was a term as far as you're not with the program. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that might have been what they were talking about, because if you're not with the program, or we're not with the data, if we're not with the what's being downloaded, we're not in two senses. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Mandela effect.
Exactly.
Interject right here, fellas. I think we need to give the audience a little deeper background on what is CERN. CERN
Exactly.
was established in 1959. It's a couple guys got together. They were physicists. Hold on, we got somebody coming in, and they hey
That's
AJ
exactly
coming to the stage.
what I need you to do, brother.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, so these physicists got together, and they were studying nuclear energy, and they decided they're gonna build the biggest machine in the world. CERN was not the first particle accelerator, but it was the biggest one. It's under Switzerland, and I think it does travel through 3 different counties. I think it's like 27 miles, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
It's
27.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my God, Marcus! I'm sorry, I underestimated. That
Yeah,
is humongous.
yeah, I
That's
knew
humongous. 1 mile
he
is huge for a machine. We're thinking about a machine, fellas. Y'all not thinking about how big of something we're talking about.
and now
I
right.
look, I'm
said a 1 mile machine. Now we're talking about a 27-mile machine under the ground.
Listen, I
yeah,
done built buildings that's less than how
on that.
big, and that's big.
That see,
Right,
Zach know exactly what I'm talking about. See, know what 27 miles is. That's huge, guys. That's humongous.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Finish his
but
explanation. That's a good
That's
explanation.
almost from West Jackson to East Jackson.
Do
But
you hear what this man is saying? He builds huge buildings every day. That's,
yeah,
guys, we're not even taking that into accountability. That this machine is this big and they're gonna be firing it up.
okay. So look, it's a particle accelerator. Now, before I get into that, CERN, it was some more things that they're famous for. So, did you know that CERN invented the internet?
I did
Yeah,
not know that.
I knew that they invented it so that their scientists can talk to each other. You know, they needed that to pass messages along, and so they invented the internet.
Yeah,
That
they put.
hey, that was a great thing because we're using it right now to talk about why they're doing some crazy stuff.
We can talk
I
about it right
understand
now.
about getting together, like minds getting together for good. They're getting together to possibly end the world.
Okay.
Yeah,
So now, I'm glad
Allegedly,
you said that.
allegedly.
Not allegedly. So now look, this is the thing about physicists, right? Physicists want to have an accurate description of reality, and so most people we kind of come with the theory of everything. Right now we got string theory and all these different theories of quantum
what the
physics. Now
fuck did I?
quantum physics are particles at a subatomic level. When you're dealing with atoms, electrons, neutrons, protons, and all those type of things like that. Now, even below an atom is made of a neutron, a proton, and an electron. Even those particles break down into even smaller particles. That's
or
why they call a particle accelerator, because it collides the particles and it smashes them together and breaks them into smaller pieces. And so they even found things smaller than that called quarks. Quarks are what makes protons and neutrons and all that type of stuff. So after they got down to the quark, they say, okay, well we can go smaller and smaller and smaller. That's when they found the theory, the Higgs boson. Higgs boson particle is what's commonly known as the guard particle. Was theorized to exist by the guy named Higgs boson. I forgot his name. It's the opposite name, not them.
it's actually
And
two.
yeah, he theorized that this particle would exist, and CERN proved it. Now, one thing that you did say that it was last fired on 2012. That's inaccurate. They fired it up last year. They do tests around about this year, around about this time of year every year. They shut it down for us to conserve energy because it puts out so much energy, particles up. So how it works is they have magnets that excite the particle, and they shoot it around in the tube until it faster and faster and faster and faster and faster till it reach light speed, and then they cross the two tubes together, and and the particle collides. Once the particle collides, they have magnetrons that kind of capture the image of the particle and see exactly can you identify a smaller particle. I'm gonna give you an example of exactly what happens. Let's say if you
Yeah.
got a handful of change, right? You got dimes, quarters, nickels, and pennies all in your hand, right? This is a physics experiment you can do in your mind. You shake that change up and you throw it in the air. What are the pieces of change that's gonna fly farther? The ones that has the less weight. The dime's gonna go farther. The penny's gonna go farther. The nickels and the quarters are gonna stay closer to what a point that you threw them from because they weigh more. That's exactly what happens with the particles once they collide. The particles collide with each other. The smaller the smaller particles that theorize, they dissipate and they can shoot out farther than the ones that we already identified. And these particles have been theorized to exist. Now, they are not stable. So you only have a glimpse of time just to see exactly what it is. It's not gonna stay tangible where you can measure it. And so they have to capture it right there at that point. Now, what has been rumored that they're doing, that once you go so small that you're gonna rip into the time of fabric and space, and that's why there have been rumored to open wormholes and open portals, and they've been rumored to know exactly what they're doing. Now, if you know that you haven't got any smaller than these Higgs bosons, what is the next level? They're trying to, like Marcus said, trying to discover antimatter, open up portals, and wormholes. That's what they're theorized to be doing, masquerading like they're doing, just doing experiments.
Yeah. And so yeah, that was a great way of summing up what we've been saying. I mean, because the public do need to hear that scientific explanation. We definitely do need to hear that. And to kind of give you what I think about that, it just sounds like to me again like they want to see and take all that data, and that's a great way of doing that. Once they collide, you can take all the data that you receive, and you can see what happens, and you can see what you see. You can see what the protons do. You can see what the neutrons do. You can see if we see quarks. But once you see the God particle, I guess what happens, and that would be my question: what speed are you getting at to see? I guess you accelerate those particles up to a certain speed, and once they collide, I guess the stronger the impact is what you will see. And so when you get the strongest impact, that's when you see the God particle, and it looks back at you and smiles at you and says, "What the fuck you looking at?" So it basically does that. It looks at you like, "Hey, I see you. You see me. See you later." So
These are the actual building blocks of reality. If you go beneath the actual building blocks of reality, what else is there? Then you're
Nothing.
going into, and you're ripping into the time of I theorize that what they're going to do is actually either open up. They already have been rumored to open up many wormholes, but you can tear open the theoretically you can tear open the space time continuum with that. Even
why would
and
you like?
Stephen Hawking, he's one of the most famous physicists, quantum physicists out right now. He warned against it. Like, man, y'all don't know what
Mm-hmm,
y'all doing.
mm-hmm. I totally agree. He did. He did.
But I say now the CERN been up and running for about what, like 20 years now, and the world hasn't been destroyed. I
You
mean,
sure?
But but
you,
but
we just
but
said it.
I was just gonna say, if we had been sucked into a black hole, how would we even know, Skinny?
Right.
well, I believe that we have, man. It's called the Mandela effect, man. I wrote a song about it. I'm gonna play it on the outro. But in
Yeah.
the song, I talk about like it's the Mandela effect. We in a whole nother world. So many movies change up, and people act like they can't tell. You know what I mean? So many stuff that changed up. Like we all know that Forrest Gump said, "Life is what."
Like a box of
Like a
chocolate.
box of chocolate, we never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, but if you go watch the movie, it's changed.
And we all know what Luke said to
It,
start.
it, Mine can't change though. I got the old DVD. Mine still say what you see.
Okay, so
What?
you watch your old DVD right now. It says life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Now, now,
I can go under my cabinet and
my
pull
mom
out that.
said life was like a box of chocolate. So which one of your DVDs say is like a box of chocolate or was like a box of chocolate?
Is.
Is.
That's what I remember. Mom
Yeah.
always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Stupid
Yeah.
Forrest. But if you look at it now, the movie said life was. Even what Mark was saying with Luke, he says, "No, I'm your father."
No,
I
he
don't
don't.
remember that
It's
sounds so
Luke.
foreign to me.
Luke,
Like
I am your father. I got the original on that too.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
I got that.
So I think we can tie it into. So how does this tie into the eclipse, G? I'm not seeing how them firing up the accelerator, trying to collide particles at the same time as the eclipse. How does that tie into each other? Are they trying to perform some ritual now, or what we got
I'm
going?
I'm I'm
exactly. I started
I'm glad you make mention of that. Can I speak real quick, Skinny, and then you can have it.
watching.
In Revelations 2:13, it says, I know that you live where Satan's throne is, and yet you hold fast to my name and have not denied your faith in me, not even in the days of Antipac, my faithful witness, who has martyred among you, where Satan lives. Yet I have few things against you. If you look up where Antipox is, I want someone else to look it up so it won't be like I'm doing a search on it.
Look it up. What we're gonna find?
It's going to say it's in Geneva,
Oh,
right where the Hadron Collider is. It's right underneath it.
Yeah,
right, right. Okay,
on the
that
Poly
the
Temple.
connection right there.
Is that in Cairo?
No, that's
No,
easy.
it's in Europe.
Cairo
We're
in
talking about in Geneva, Switzerland. We're,
yeah,
we're in
Okay.
Switzerland.
that's in
Swiss- Okay. Okay. I was
yeah.
So
asking
I
a
just want
question.
somebody else to just research that on their own. It's
I had one more.
AIN, where's ANTIPAS. That's
So
what's in the King James Version.
We'll
so
stop at church to check it once we do the editing. No
what
problem.
that brings to my mind also, CJ, is that in the Bible, I know somewhere I'm not a Bible scholar. I can't tell you the scripture exactly, but I know it says that for look to the skies to watch the signs, and you will see. And these are the signs that we've been given, but we starting to ignore them in so many ways. And I'm just trying to see, can I put that together? Can I look and see the signs of whatever's to come or whatever's going on, or and that's the reason why they trying to fire up their accelerator to try to get that energy, to siphon that energy, or these are all alleged conspiracies. But I mean, they doing something. Is what I'm saying. Trying to get to the bottom of that. And is there something as even I don't care what religion you are. I mean, if we supposed to be watching the signs, is there something we should be doing? These are good questions to, kind of ask for the people, because if we can give good answers to that type of thing, then I know that people will get a get good information out of what we're talking about tonight.
I did a survey at work, and it was a small because I only have like 5 people to work around me. I asked them, they said they just chalked it up. Like this was just something. The moon comes in front of the sun. That's not something that's not supposed to happen. You see what I'm saying? The
Right,
moon is what is supposed to give us light by night. The sun is what gives us light by day. Them crossing in front of each other, that seems like almost something improbable. Like that should be like setting off a light in our head, like it's a light bulb. because
I
it's
mean,
dim in our light.
But
I mean,
it's actually giving
well,
us a time frame of time too, because like I said, that's how the Mayans get the calendar right from time of how many times that it went around and crossed and went around and crossed, and now that it finally lined up, that means that it must be going through some type of cycle. If it's lining up and you can predict it, then
That
I guess
I
that's
you can
what
mean,
find
that's what I was
I,
speaking
I
to earlier about the 13th month. We have removed it because of like Roman emperors. They modified months to be named after either gods or Roman emperors. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do the math, what does Nov mean? Nov is 9. November is 9. September, that's 7. You see what I'm saying?
True that. True that. All that is true. Thing.
Everything is thrown off to throw us off, to get us out of balance. But we have to bring ourselves back into balance
So
and understand that.
that mean even our time is off too. So what year is it really? You know.
Exactly. What year truly is it if they have modified how many months it is? They removed a month. And that, like, technically, would get paid for 13 months. So that would be 2 more checks that they're giving you. Think about that. They're undercutting us. If you're a worker, but they don't want you thinking. They want you working. Think about that. Why are you worried about that? Just work. Don't think.
definitely want you to work and not think.
well, so you saying the months will be shorter?
No, they would be
Uh,
everyone would be 28 days. That's a lunar cycle. Look it up. A lunar cycle is 28 days. Why are we not in collaboration with the moon? That's that's what the tides come in on. The lunar
yeah,
tide. You ain't that's the earth is in balance. We're out of balance because they make us out of imbalance.
yeah.
Maybe one day they'll change it and rewrite everything. Maybe. But
I can go because Rome did reset some stuff. And
It
I
was
have
the
heard.
great reset. Marcus was talking about it on one of our previous casts. The Tartaria. It was the great reset. The dark ages, it wasn't dark for everyone.
True that.
Yeah.
True that.
Maybe Moorish people were ruling and kings and queens, and you were coming to them for knowledge and healing and spirituality.
And through my age and wisdom and spirituality, as you said, one thing I've seen, man, is that it's nothing new under the sun, and it ain't much man is not capable of doing. So at some point, you had some king, some ruler, some greedy motherfucker that just said, "Hey, fuck that! It's year 2000 today. I don't care what y'all saying. We resetting the clock today." And you got to think, man. We ain't perfect. We ain't never been perfect, and I don't think we ever will be perfect. So if I was a ruler, just say, and I've heard theories about this that some of the rulers in certain time wanted to have like they wanted to begin like to say I wanted to be 1900 this year because I want my kingdom to start in 1900. I need my shit to start on a day like that. Everybody remember, I started at 1900 on this day, and it's really fucking 1742. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I just know man is capable of doing something like that. Just knowing the spirit of black, white, Chinese, whoever it is. If you get power, you can get drunk with power, and you can do things like that.
I
We
mean,
are.
time is perspective at the end of the day. Anyway, they base it off the time of Christ, BC before Christ, and after ascension. So after death or whatever they say it is. So that was all man made from the dough anyway. So you're exactly right. You can time is to me time is all perspective. Now you can base stuff off of certain constants like it takes 365 days, 5 hours and 27 seconds for the Earth to go around the sun. And so if you divide that by 12, I guess
By
it's gonna
13, it'll
by
give you one additional day
so
for a
okay
free
so
day. If you do it by 13, it'll give you one additional day for just a free day, and then it'll start over because that will be 364.
Yeah,
And
cause I
then
and I heard that it is 13 signs, and
it is. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm thrown off because I'm thinking I'm a Sagittarius the whole time.
I thought
I
I was
mean
a
your sign is still going to be your sign. It's not based on the date. It's based on your when your when you were born, what constellation was in dominance. Like for instance, I'm a Gemini, and so that means that when I was born in June, that was the dominant constellation in the sky. So it's not based on the date per se. It's based on position.
So you mean the stars are there for us, and there ain't no place we can go to? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say that.
They're fixed. They're fixed.
They
The
are
earth
fixed.
is fixed. Everything is fixed. We're Nothing is moving but the moon and the sun.
I know, but I mean, what's so funny about that, y'all, is just no proof of that. I mean, we have proof that mathematical formulas and satellites and everything that says that the universe is moving.
Let's not get off subject, guys. Hey, let's go ahead and let our other members, if y'all want to chime in, man, Ziggy or AJ, would y'all like to chime in about CERN, man? Because, I know we was getting off subject. Me, us three at the top, we know we was starting to talk about something else. We know what the fuck we was doing.
I remember what the conversation was. I was letting y'all go on a tangent. I'm ready to go back home and answer your question.
Yeah,
You asked
yeah.
why would they crank it up or doing a solar eclipse? I was ready to go.
Right. Let's take it back there. Yeah, I agree.
But let's go ahead and give AJ and Zach a time to speak. I don't want to hold them up.
Well, fellas, this topic for me is a learning curve. I'm soaking up all the knowledge, and just gaining more, understanding about CERN. So, I mean, we all can't have the answers to all the questions. So I'm just sitting here soaking it up, just learning. That's what it's about, just talk.
Well, you just tell me how you feel about the content that's been shared with you as far as, I gave you some biblical perspective. Skinny gave you a whole bunch of, what I'm saying, mathematical, what they're doing. They set up the internet. Marcus gave you just how he felt from just, man, I'm hearing about this. Why they doing that? Perspective. We just want to know how you feel about it.
Well, to a degree, I'm leaning towards per se, I'm leaning towards MJ side. Reason being, because I mean, when you talk about history, like you said, history, it's been flipped and bamboozled and all this and that. And when it comes to physics, like Skinny was saying, I mean, numbers don't lie. But like
Exactly.
Marcus is saying, I mean, it's like prove it to me. I mean, you got to show me. So that's kind of how I feel about that.
Well, it was this guy named Isaac Newton, and
Here you go. Here you go.
he's called the father of classical physics, man. And he one thing he did map out the the uh the theory of not theory but the formulas with momentum and the formulas of how celestial objects behave and how gravity and and those same equations still hold up to this date, man. You can predict when the
They
solar
they
eclipse.
they cannot prove anything that's in physics though, Skinny, because
I was
that's
just about
that's the
to
thing. Because how can we get
That's not
how
true.
can we get to this other point? We can't because
You
so
can
is
right
is,
now.
we can say yeah we can say right now or whatever, but
is
You can
Isaac
take
Newton the
these.
motherfucker who the
You
apple
can
hit in
take
the head?
these same
yes
equations that
Marcus,
Isaac
yes.
came up with. You can
That's what.
take these equations and you can predict what time and date will the next solar eclipse be.
Yes,
It's not a pulling
no,
it out my butt. Oh,
Skinny, that's doing exactly what I just told you to do.
You proving
As
our point.
far as far as a lunar cycle, we
Right.
can do that. That's
okay.
not doing anything.
Lunar
That's not.
cycle, eclipse cycle is different. Lunar
Yes,
cycle,
that's what I'm telling you.
when the moon goes around the Earth throughout the month, and then it changes its phases because of the sun is at a different position. Now,
Exactly.
the eclipse is not
They believe
a standard prediction. The last one was what? 2017. It wasn't even a full
Yes,
eclipse, so it's not
it
nothing
was.
it's not a chart that's broke down, but you can predict these things with math. And I'm not about to sit up here and let you guys say physics doesn't exist. I mean, come on, man. Put your phone down if you feel that way.
It exists. Is
Thank
it
you.
It's
exists inside of the matrix they made for you, Skinny, the Rockefeller effect. I'm telling you,
hey,
it's
what's that?
still going on.
Describe the matrix. Describe it. What are they doing?
Skinny. They told medical doctors, if you keep preaching you can heal yourself by these herbs that's right in your yard and not come to me, you're not going to get a medical license.
Okay, so that's the matrix.
No, well, it's allow me to build on it. So that's from the medical perspective. The food perspective, we're going to make everything GMO to make you have a different off given to your DNA. You see what I'm saying? So in every perspective, I'm going to try to modify you from what you're hearing, what you're eating, what you're drinking, and the environment you're in. So if I can change all of them, I can change your reality, can I or can I not?
Okay, you said a lot then. The original question was about physics and equations and coming up with the physics. And you said, well, you can manipulate anything in the matrix. Am I paraphrasing? Am I? Did I?
You did say that because you're not realizing, but that's what's going on. All of us are living in it and to some certain effect, Skinny.
Okay, so
You
look,
just don't want.
I'm glad you said that. And so look, this is the thing about it, physics, man. The thing you call the matrix, us physics call us physics, us whatever. I can't even think of the name
This,
of my damn field. Physicists call it simulation theory. That's what we would call the matrix. Now, simulation theory goes hand in hand exactly what we're talking about. Now, Marcus asked earlier, why would they be cranking up CERN during the solar eclipse? Now, yeah, they crank up CERN around about this time every year when they got it up and running, but just so it happens to coincide with a solar eclipse this year. Do I think it's by mistake? No, I think it's on purpose. Or they just using it as a political football. Okay, let's do some real rituals here. Now, you would ask yourself, how are physicists, scientists doing spiritual rituals? I'm gonna tell you why. Because the more that quantum physicists get into learning about the nature of reality, it's more of a spiritual thing than it is. And it's mixed with class. The physics just describes it. That's why that they built the temple. That's why they built CERN on top of the Apollyon temple. Now, if anybody know anything about magic spells, you do stuff you do stuff during. I guess the more the unique the event, the more powerful the spell would be. So if you're gonna open up a portal to try to summon some entities or thin the veil, that'll be a great time to do it when magic is at its height. Now, we can say that's pseudo and magic is not real, but you can prove magic through science, through physics, with entanglement and all the different type of stuff. That's why they use representations of the different gods like Shiva. That's exactly what it represents.
No one said anything about the magic because I told you about the word spell. Spelling. That's why they taught us that to think to make us think it was different than what it was. But when you're saying stuff, you can speak that into existence for yourself or somebody else, man. So
And,
you're
phys- and
doing
phys-
more than just spelling a word. It's a spell you're casting, maybe on yourself or someone else, incidentally.
well, I'm
because
just
we
here to say this,
are
man.
sparking us. That's how we can
Magic,
speak.
and physics is basically the same thing in my book.
Hey, and so we all got that God spark in us. So that's how we can speak things into existence, man. And so, we all got that. We all can share that energy, and that kind of sums it up for me to let you know that the deeper you go with any of the science, the deeper you go with any of it, that's what you're gonna run into, the spiritual world. And if my thing is, if they are tapping into other dimensions, what are on the lower dimensions and what are on the higher dimensions, and if they tap into a lower dimension and they just rip it open, and because this the type of science that they're doing is they're going lower, they're not going higher, and in my opinion, Because when you break things down to their lowest form, I mean, hey, that's what you're doing. You going lower. So if you break
Exactly.
lower dimension, we're gonna start seeing some things that we shouldn't see. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I agree with Marcus on that aspect,
See
and
coming
that's
through
why
the
I was
veil
saying it.
right now. I mean, what kind of stuff do you see coming through the veil right now that people that's rumored to have? I mean, people see ghosts, UFOs, demonic forces. Those are the things.
UAPs, you
And I,
have
Paranormal activity. What are these entities that's coming through? You know?
Insidious.
When what's his name? Aleister Crowley, when he prayed and summoned his demon, how did it look? It looked like a gray alien.
allegedly,
Allegedly. That's, I mean, it's in his book. So
you
see,
wasn't there. You wasn't
I
there,
read
nigga. You wasn't
I
there.
read the book.
Yeah. Okay. You read the book? Okay.
Do as thou wilt should be the whole of the law. And love
I do know he made that statement though, Mark.
brought out.
Right. No, I was just joking though. Just bring a little light to it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you mention Alistair Crowley, it's like a roar goes over the room. You know what I mean? So I had to lighten that up a little
Yeah,
bit.
some people do think he was a quack, but people in our people that's in our listening view, they're like, who is that we're talking about? So that's somebody you're gonna have to go back and research. You know, he was summoning portals back in the day. So
Right.
just
Right.
understand that this is nothing that's new under the sun. Like Marcus said earlier, there's nothing new under the sun. They've been trying to open the portal for Satan to come in. You know what I'm saying? Usher in a new time.
So
So
you gotta look at how a physicist would think. Man, I'm a physicist, man. I'm trying to get my name out here. Wouldn't you think that you'll go down in the history books if you summon Satan?
Well,
You'll go down as one of the greatest physicists that ever lived.
I'm glad you said that because you brought an
That's how
earlier
they
thought.
think.
And this thought was that, yeah, what if those scientists at CERN, they just think they're doing their job, man. They just think that they're doing a great scientific experiment using all the scientific methods, and they're finding things and they're trying to do their job. But what if they're just being coerced to do that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's been prophesized that the end of the world gonna come in some kind of way. And if there is a spiritual battle that's gonna happen, what if they are the ones who kick it all off and they don't even know it? You know what I
Well,
mean?
they know it, Marcus. We're
well,
talking about
the
these
forces are
people are not
gathering.
smart,
The
smart.
forces are gathering near Armageddon now. Where is Armageddon? Give us the location because I'm gonna show point it to you because y'all were talking about it the other night.
Go ahead,
When you look it up, Alvin, it's gonna say in the Persian Gulf. That's where Armageddon is. So because it's located over there, we already have a war going on. Two wars actually, if we count Russia. You know what I'm saying, and what they're trying to do to Ukraine. But it's all in a huge conglomeration as far as now. The next thing you'll see is going to be the China with Taiwan thing. That is what's going to prompt a whole bunch of forces and a whole bunch of people to have to act as a
I got,
result of that.
I got a question for Bill Nye when he want to answer for me.
But we're being ushered into it, Skinny, instead of it happening naturally. We're being ushered into a age rather than the age happening on its own. As far as time coming into an end, they want the end of time to come.
I mean, I
That's
agree.
what you don't understand about the CERN people. They want the end of
No,
time to come.
I said the exact opposite. That they smart. They know what they're doing. They are trying to summon Apollyon. They put it in their own literature. They put it in their own propaganda and their own promotional videos. This is what they're trying to do.
Hey, so I got a question for Mr. Bill Nye, Skinny. Hey, man, I'm just fucking with you when I call you Bill Nye. And just to give kind of a reference, man, a lot of times I ask questions and I have like my own thoughts and my own answers in my head, but I like to ask questions to get extra information, and I put it out there in the form of a question because I always have my own thoughts about these questions that I ask, but I like for us to just kind of elaborate on things. Like, for instance, Mr. Bill Nye, what do you think about antimatter? And if and are they producing antimatter by firing up CERN, or do you know? Can you tell us anything specifically about antimatter, and wouldn't that shit blow up the world?
Antimatter, dark matter is another word for it. It's basically what the universe is made of. So if you think about matter, you think about it's a tangible object like a proton, a neutron, an electron, something that you can actually touch. Now, there's so much space in between one atom that, like, let's say if you were the nucleus, I can be right here at my house, and the the proton would be in Waco, Texas, right now, and in between all that space is dark matter. That's actually the actual reverse of what holds everything together. Now, it's been proven to exist because once you take satellite images of the universe, you can see it flowing and stuff like this. And then if it didn't exist, the universe wouldn't basically hold together. And me, I just look at it like this: it's kind of like the veil, the ether. That's what the final lowest form before you can go to another dimension.
So are they seeing some of that shit there?
And now is CERN trying to say what now?
Are they? Yeah. I think you about to answer that question now. I asked, are they seeing it? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah, so antimatter and dark matter is very unstable. They are isolating it, but it's unstable. They can't hold it into a and how you say put it in a container or isolate it. But they can produce dark matter. Now it's very volatile. It could explode the whole planet, or explode blow up the whole city. So
That's
I
the
would
point.
suggest them messing with it. But another thing about antimatter, whenever they produce it and try to store it, paranormal activity increases tenfold. You got bases falling, and you're hearing voices and demonic forces, and stuff is levitating and stuff. So that's another property of dark matter. Now you can take for that what you want, as you will.
No, that's kind
The
of
two
here.
have a direct correlation. If it makes exact sense what Mark is saying, he want you to point it out that if you do this stuff that you don't know what you're dealing with, paranormal activity happen, and you say you don't know why paranormal activity happen. That's not happening. The people are crazy. No, they're
Exactly
not.
why they know
Hey,
exactly what's happening,
hey,
CJ. They
and
know
I'm gonna
exactly
tell you. Well,
they're
I'm gonna
going
tell you
to
funny
another
stuff.
realm, a lower realm, just like on Stranger Things. When you ever seen Stranger Things, the show, when they go
Oh
into the
yeah.
upside down, and it's just like a mirror. It's just like the Earth, but it's in another realm. That's exactly what they're doing, and they bringing stuff out. And just like in
Uh,
your Bible, it's saying Revelations that they're gonna release monsters and stuff from the bottomless pit. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Now, if you are the head of CERN and you are a scientist and you're sitting up here saying, okay, we dedicated our life to this institute. We basically can't get no more deeper. We're not gonna discover no more particles. We gotta I gotta feed my kids and we need to keep this funding going. You know what I mean? We don't want to lose our jobs here. And so what the next thing they're gonna do is say, okay, we've seen that we might reopen up a portal. Let's just try to go for it. And then somebody will say, what if we had evil entities coming to it. They look at it like it's so be it. It's better than what's going on right now because they feel like that us as regular people, we are sheep, and they feel like they're gonna work with the entities when they come over.
And this is why I think in the Bible when they talk about Nebuchadnezzar and they say he was trying to build the Tower of Babylon to heaven. You know what I'm saying? The Tower of Babel. Because I think you know what they're trying to say there that they have too much technology for their own goods. Now we're just gonna confuse them with language, color. See, now we're all beefing. We can't get past skin color. We'll until we figure out skin color, the earth is gonna be terrible. You know what I'm saying? Until we figure out the skin color that we're all the same. But we're not all the same because we got a 2 to 3% differential in variance. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
and CJ, what that brings to my mind is the truth that Jesus spoke when he was on the cross. Forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do. We know not what we do when we fuck with shit like that. We don't know what we doing. We're gonna make
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? They don't know what they're doing. They just, and also that can be also described as the fruit on the tree. The apple. The things that we're not supposed to do.
Fruit
These
of
are
knowledge. The fruit
the
of knowledge, or good and bad.
learning about how to create the big bang and try to be the creator, when the creator did it all himself within a thought. It was just like, it was a thought. In my opinion, it was a thought that sparked the world. That's what they missing. They missing the power to be able to do that. I mean, you can break it down and try to watch it all you want to, but if you ain't got that power, ain't nothing you can do but get scared. And that was the one more thing I was gonna say before I let somebody else go is, I mean, you can be the strongest fucking atheist, you can be the person that don't believe in no God nowhere else, but you see something that your ass scared of, first thing you holler is, "Oh my God, help me!" I don't know nobody that don't say it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what do atheists say when they get scared, frightened to their knees? What they do? What they say?
You're right. Oh my God. That's the everybody's first reaction is OMG.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Ziggy? You got something for us, AJ, man? I mean, we don't want to take over the whole time, man. We want to let you guys chime in as well, man.
Ain't got nothing. Ain't
Oh,
got nothing. My question is being answered, and everything I wanted to say being said.
right. That's cool. We just want to make sure everybody get their chance, to chime in if they want to. We didn't want to, take over all the time and and not let you speak if you wanted to. But so yeah, man. And well, back to it though. I if they released Dark Matter at any point, man, that could have been what happened at the end of the Mayan calendar. It might have been prophesized that they were going to end the world in that matter, and we shifted right to another timeline because
Exactly. It was the end of Kali Yuga. You know what I'm saying?
so, in other words, with the simulation theory, we can come to it. See, I like to put things in a nutshell and use the collective knowledge to come up with a conclusion. If we use the simulation theory, it's almost, and you use the way that we know that CERN can just blow us up and we go to another goddamn dimension. It's almost like we're a video game with unlimited lives, ain't it, bro? Like we Apex, we can just die and come right back, jump out the ship again. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and try that out. Let me try to work out.
In this reality, yeah. But if you die in this reality, like Freddie said, it's a wrap. If you die in this reality, it's over with.
Wow, I might go to another timeline then. Fuck it.
I mean, man, man, it's infinite possibilities. Anything is possible, man.
Do that.
So how physics work is it you die, you don't die, and you die and you die again. It's like it's probability. So in one timeline you might can't reincarnate, in another timeline you might can. So it just and I think that CERN really I ain't gonna say assisted us, but they ushered us on, they moved us on. I think they slipped us over to another dimension. Now I do think that in 2012 something really did happen. I remember looking at the stars align. And I'm thinking, and I was waiting to see that I feel a shift or if something happened. And I didn't feel anything, but see, shortly later, you see stuff has changed. Books have changed. Movies have changed. You notice some
Exactly.
girl that used to act crazy, she ain't that much crazy no more. Donald Trump, the president. All type of stuff is going on. You know what I mean?
Everything for it, to say it in a nutshell is crazy, but the Simpsons have been predicting it since we were kids. That cartoon is as old as we are, man. And they have been putting out the truth because they have to put the truth out in your face before they do it.
Universal law, number
Universal
one.
law. Yeah, universal law. That's how they keep getting.
So
But
let so
but because Bart Simpson is saying it, we all laugh because it's a joke. But it's the truth.
so what the writers have to say about
The writers of
I'm
Simpsons.
just I'm just saying they've been right on everything. They've been right on Donald Trump. They've been right on the little ship that went underwater and exploded.
hey,
They've been right on everything.
y'all shows was
They predicted the end of the world, but I'm not going to tell you the date because it'll cause fear mongering.
okay, so these writers of the Simpsons are they're magical shade sages, and they know how to predict the future.
They've been right over like 80 times.
According
Man.
to them, they are
Yes, sir.
reptilians from
Yeah, you're
another
right,
planet.
because they go off of probability and situational norms. They go off of what they don't necessarily predict the future.
They had Donald Trump on the escalator going up, and he did the same exact thing. Really? Come on, you think this stuff is a joke?
This is the difference between a scientific mind and a spiritual mind, right there. That's what y'all conflicting on. I like it though. It's a fun thing to watch here.
I mean, mine makes sense. These are actual scenarios that could likely happen. When you got Mr. Burns is the he's playing a character. He's the millionaire person that don't care. You know, and then now
Exactly. He is the one making the mandates for us to do, right?
Mr. Rockefeller.
Thank you, Marcus. Marcus is picking right up on it.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Homer is me and you.
These are situational norms that these people are expressing. Now, if you can pinpoint me one instance where it came out to exact T that this ain't nothing that the probability could never be a person couldn't think of and it actually happened. Show it to me.
Trump coming down the escalator.
Trump coming down the escalator. Okay. Y'all, I'm glad you said that, right? Now, Trump has had these towers since the 80s, and he got gold in all his towers, right?
Right.
He got gold escalators in all his hotels, right?
Right.
This man has always been known to be with supermodel women. So you telling me this is all out the fabric of prediction and future that Trump would come down the escalator one day beside a bottle?
Running
for president, though.
It didn't say nothing about he running for president.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I need to watch that episode.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, thank you, Alvin.
He coming down the escalator running for president. I don't know. I gotta fact check that.
I'm the fact checker. Yes, sir.
If it did, they psychics over there at
Okay, so Skinny, they predicted the guys going into the bottom of the ocean in the little fish thing and imploding. They predicted that. What do you got to say about that?
Submarine movie that came out.
Huh? The main character implodes, really?
We're gonna put it like this. The Simpsons own to something, man. We just put it
Thank
like
you, Marcus. Thank you.
I agree with you.
Own something, man.
The Simpsons
But it's just when people throw out that stuff, this and that, man. I just like to get some evidence, man. Let's go on Twitter tomorrow and look up the writers of the Simpsons. And let's tweet every last one of them and say, hey, man, DM them getting their DM. Man, y'all really psychics or y'all just be
they gonna tell you. You on a need to know basis, young man.
You're comical. Like they're gonna just talk to us like, man, you're trying to steal my ideas. Gone, man. He gonna tell you to go. Who you working for?
Who is this guy?
Exactly. Who are you working for? You working for Stan on American Dad? Are you working for him?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you who I'm working for. I'm working for the American people. Now, guess what I did today, guys?
What's that, my brother?
YouTube channel and asked them what kind of portal are they opening tomorrow. I said, is it just gonna fade into it? I didn't ask them, are y'all opening portals and summoning demons? I said, hey man, when y'all open the portal, does it be like the one on Stargate or does it just fade into existence? I bet one of them respond to me because they're gonna be like, oh yeah, oh he in on it. He know what he's talking about.
Yeah, we got to start watching him. We got to pay attention.
Exactly.
You did bring attention to yourself. We're going to pay more attention to him.
We're going to be a Mark podcast before we even get started, sir.
we don't want that.
I mean, that is the question, man. When they collide these particles, man, does a big wavy screen come up or start?
That's how I will predict it because it's 20, like you said, it's 27 miles big, man. Anything can happen in 27 miles, man.
Yeah, so have you seen the images of the clouds when they ran it last time? They got the clouds open, the portal coming up in the clouds. It was like a circular cloud and had ghost faces and thunder and all this stuff. And People stuff started levitating and ghosts started popping out.
There you go. See, through our discussion, I believe we have came up into a conclusion of kind of what happens, man. I believe it's very unpredictable and very erratic what happens, and I think apparitions appear, things like that, because a piece of dark as you start hitting, going so fast,
The
like
veil is being thinned.
yeah,
Veil is
the thing, and
ghost
then
might
you know,
pop up. You lost your cell phone. Your cell phone, you said it right there, but it ain't there no more. You come
and
back
the
an
next
hour later, it's
know,
sitting there. Veil
and
has been.
they're doing a ritual. You saw those dances that they're doing at CERN. They putting on. They look like those African veils that straight those stringy looking straw looking veils that the Africans wear sometimes. Why they got those on at CERN?
Cause they
That's
showing you what they're doing. They doing rituals. I
the
got it in my rap video, man. They doing the symmetry dance. They think they're saying that this dance represents symmetry. It represents the particle and the wave function.
that's
And
just a spirit that tapped into their ass. That's what I'm saying.
that's what the dance represents.
I'm saying it represents a spirit and tapped into their ass, a lower spirit, and tapped into their ass, and they ushering in the lower dimension.
Exactly, because that's all. Like Marcus said, if it's nothing higher, then all you can do is go lower. You're tapping into the lower chakras, and that's just demonic shit, man. So that's all you can be wanting to tap into at this point.
The way you ascend higher is by ascending into the light body. I mean, you want to try to go higher. You do higher.
Exactly. You got to ascend the chakra if you're trying to be a light being or something like that, man. You can't go lower in a lower state.
You got to get rid of all this dead weight.
Facts.
Yeah, but I agree with y'all, man. And answer my own question, I think it's gonna fade into existence. The veil is being thinned with the particle accelerator. It's bringing out the dark matter, and so it just kind of like basically merges these two dimensions a little bit, so you can just kind of like shift through a little bit. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's gonna be a big old portal where you got hordes and hordes of demons running through. It might be though. By this time next week, we might be battling demons. You never know. You see dragons flying in the air, and
But
you know,
you remember how Raccoon do you
let's
remember
see.
how Raccoon City original started?
So
It's just gonna take that one. You know what I'm saying? The original Raccoon City, man, when the police was like it was just the one guy, the very original one.
So I
Him.
got a question. What if something do happen, some type of what you would call a natural disaster or whatever
Skinny
that
just said they've already been occurring all week, friend. But
I'm saying what
continue.
if something happen, after tomorrow or tomorrow night, whatever the case may be, or is the blame gonna be on CERN or I mean is
more, yeah. Well, they're gonna blame it on the eclipse. They're gonna say the eclipse messed up the internet. The eclipse messed up the phone, the water. We conserving water. This and this and this and this. And they're gonna use it as political football. They're gonna say, well, the eclipse did this, and hey, it's a good time to shut down everything, or you know what I mean. These people that's in control, and I mean they as in the government, industrial, military complex, the bankers,
Allegedly in control. Allegedly.
so they use stuff. They never waste a what's the word? Never waste a good crisis.
Yeah. So and most all this stuff that we speaking about, most of it is alleged. Anything that we say is not proven factual, we definitely are using it. We are alleging that these things are happening because I mean, unless we are doving out through the facts, we're gonna make sure that we know that we giving our opinions. And so yeah, I would definitely have to agree with y'all on that, man. And to answer Ziggy's question, man. I mean, I really think like what you're saying. I mean, I never ever heard of CERN on the 10 o'clock news. I never heard them speak about that. So I really think like what Skinny said, it's gonna be blamed on the eclipse because it's been so funny, man. I'm seeing a show on my Hulu channel for the eclipse. So anything that does happen, they won't blame it on CERN. They're gonna definitely put it on the eclipse, it's like they operate CERN in the shadows. Seems like it to me.
So what do y'all think? Y'all think CERN? I think everybody's pretty much in agreement that CERN is definitely up to something, and something nefarious, something uh no good, because if you, even if you was to get down to the very fabric of time and space, they have to have some type of theory of what's going to happen once you get there. Now, most people say wormholes open up another portal. Physics has predicted that there's other dimensions and stuff happening. So, I mean, this when you what you say, Junior? When you play stupid game, you get stupid prizes.
Yeah.
Prize, a three-headed goat demon with a fire shooting out his tail. It's gonna be a real stupid game playing in, huh?
Right. And first thing they're gonna do is start praying to God. Hey, come save me. That's what they better do.
Well,
They,
it'll be a ushering in of the end times, man. It's nothing we can do. Either you gonna take the mark or you're gonna be an outcast. You feel me?
So they got
You're not gonna be able to buy or sell. It's
everybody
it's
got their own the market. Maybe they want to bring the demons in so they can force Jesus to come back and reign on earth.
true
You
that.
never know what that gender to be. Some of them gender might
Everybody.
be, hey, I want to work with the demon so the demon can give me magical powers and tell me how to create more technology.
And so it's one thing I do understand is everybody got a role to play, man. We all do everything.
we
So
do because as man, you can be selfish and be like, I want to be remembered as the greatest such and such. Like Skinny was saying earlier, you might be so arrogant to be like that, knowing what you ushering in.
Yeah, exactly, man.
do that. And you could wanna try to have that power. I done seen that. It's just that people like us or people like me, we sit on the good side of things and we'd rather, see the good side of things happen, the light things happen, the good happen instead of being like Alistair Crawley and do as thou will. I'm just speaking. I'm just talking. I'm just
Ashley
joking.
Crowley got a
You
bad
talking
rap.
for real?
Ashley Crowley got a bad rap. He wasn't that bad of a guy. He had his own problems. He was a drug addict, and he slept with a lot of women. But he
So was Hitler. Hitler did a lot of LSD and meth. So
yeah, but
half
but
the
they
time,
spoke,
half the
man. He
time he was like telling them, "Man, go kill yourself. Who cares if you die?" Because he didn't care at that point. If you're on meth, man, have you ever seen somebody methed out?
Right. I have.
Okay, we all have. So so he was on that, and he's leading the whole army.
And no
So he was
telling how
like,
many kids he had.
Oh,
just
gotcha.
just just give whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? Who cares if you die? Fight for your brother. You know what I'm saying? Never quit.
Yeah, that was a good Cat Williams joke he said about him. Hitler had a whole army of meth guys. I mean, you ain't gonna beat that army. You know what I'm saying? Cat Williams funny.
these niggas did
I,
on meth.
well, yeah, but that's a good aspect I wanted to
Got
bring up. You guys,
Long as they
gangster.
got cheap teeth to chew on, they got them and they going.
They
yeah.
geeked up, man, shooting, geeking up, up
Hey,
4 days.
but
Monday
yes,
new good.
a good aspect y'all have brought me up to think about by y'all conversation, man, is to think that it's good to mention that good and evil is all about kind of perspective, man, because Hitler and probably Aleister Crowley, they probably, to them in their eyes, they weren't doing evil. They probably think they were doing something good for their people or for
Well,
their cause.
I was just gonna tell you, it's all about a perspective. What if
Yeah,
we were, you know what I'm saying, the colonizers that were colonizing Africa? What if
right,
black people were the majority, you know what I'm saying, and we were going into Africa and it was nothing but these pale skinned people, and we're like forcing, you know what I'm saying, whatever we had upon them.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
And
It's like
Whether it
so,
was whether it was
like when
Islam, because when the Moors came, the Moors brought the sword and they brought Islam. So it was either convert or die. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
And who's to say? I can say this real quick too. The nigga that's out there right now, getting ready to put a pistol to a nigga head and getting ready to take his money because he's hungry. He ain't ate in 2 days. who wrong? Is the nigga that ain't ate in 2 days, or the nigga that's getting robbed that probably can use, he can probably just go ahead and give him a couple dollars, but the nigga had to rob him. So on who aspect, who wrong, man? I'm hungry, bro. I gotta do what I gotta do. You can call.
But you taking from a situational guy like me or you, when it's really somebody. If say, man, if you hitting a baseball and you making 30 million, that's too much for you to be consuming out of the world's income as
True,
far as for what you doing
true that.
to the work for the world. The garbage man do more for the world than you do. He removes the waste. If all waste would build up, we would all get sick and die. So what people don't understand, he is a pivotal part of the community. He's like the one of the top guys with the doctors and the firefighters and these so-called policemen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get on that because y'all know how I feel about that subject.
Hey, but you spoke about what that problem is right there. You actually spoke earlier and you said it. You said, man, it's the matrix. The matrix has that set up like that. That's a construct of the matrix that okay, we're gonna have the entertainers get paid way more and be glorified way more because it's some frivolous bullshit, and it's all gonna keep the people also gonna keep the people distracted enough to not have them think more spiritually and organize more, and all the things that my brother Ziggy's brother was talking about. These are some of the things that keeps us from organizing and being more astute and being more on top of like just spiritual battles and being more of a family man. Because if I can get you talking about the Jordan versus LeBron debate, you ain't talking about what's going on over there in Gaza and shit like that and what China and
or or it's gonna end in where me and you can agree to disagree. We're gonna be mad at each other. You see what I'm saying? To the point where, oh, I'm not talking to Mark for 5 or 6 months now because I'm mad about what his opinion was.
right,
All
right.
of us have that, man. So if we can't be man enough to respect another man's opinion and go on, that's what they want. The division. They want, oh, he can't take another man's opinion. So I'm not gonna talk to him.
And
But
the,
that's what half the ghetto beef over. Either a female, some money, y'all serving the same people, and he cutting into it, and I'm probably out of choices because that's 90% of it.
right, right, right. Yeah, so man, we definitely had a good discussion tonight, man. I think for the most part, we all got good information out, man. I mean, because I ain't seeing where we left too much on the table when it comes to CERN. I mean, of course, there's more things that we can probably talk about, man. But yeah, we just wanted to make sure that we have a good discussion and kind of in depth. We talked about the science of it, the spirituality of it, and we can let the people, man, be the judge, man. I mean, because I think, in my opinion, is that they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and if they open up another dimension, or if they use antimatter to blow up the world again, allegedly, it's just gonna happen, and we're gonna keep rolling on. That's why I say, if you want to put things together and come to a conclusion about it, shit. I mean, we just like Teflon, man. I mean, the spirit can't die, but we damn sure can multiply. You know what I'm saying? But it
Oh
was
yeah.
good discussing with y'all, man. We appreciate you. Ziggy, you say you got something you want to say, man? Go ahead, dog. You good?
Yeah, can they at least give us the pros and cons of what's gonna happen if they do, crank CERN back up or whatnot? At least you would want the people to want to know.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: whether CERN fires it up again, they're gonna do it tomorrow. But forward in the future, Skinny say this is a routine thing. It just was on my radar because of you know what's going on as far as the times we're living in, as far as what's going on in the sky. People not paying attention to that. Plus, it's passing through 6 or 7 cities called Nineveh, man. I want you guys to research a city called Nineveh. And then the last city it go through, it was called a city called Jonah. Jonah is a guy in the Bible. God asked him to go to a city called Nineveh, but he went the opposite way, and he ended up being swallowed by a fish. But I want y'all to just research that for yourself. That's something you can, just a tidbit for yourself going forward. But this eclipse that's happening tomorrow is going to pass through that city 7 times and then end up in a place called Little Egypt. But that's going to be my end topic, my end discussion on it. Everyone else close out.
All right.
All right, I'm
Any
gonna say like
say before we close out, brother? AJ? Yeah, anybody got anything to say before we close out? AJ, you got anything to say before we close out, bro?
No, I ain't got nothing to say. I agree with everything.
All right, appreciate it, man. Appreciate your input anyway, man. We gonna that's the thing about our platform, man. We trying to be versatile to where we're gonna have all these type of discussions to where even some nights, man, I'm gonna be listening and I'm gonna be taking notes too, because just like you said, AJ, everybody ain't got all the information that every damn thing is impossible. So we good, man. I appreciate everybody's input. If you want to take us out, you can. Otherwise, we can close it out right now, man. Just Talk Podcast, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna say some. Man, CERN is nothing to be concerned about, man. There's nothing to see here. People always say the world coming to an end. It's another crisis. Uh, they've been working on this thing for a while. They already pulled off the Mandela effect. They probably already got portals and working with demons and all this stuff already. Nothing to see here, just a regular scheduled program. Uh, CERN is nothing to be concerned about. I predict everybody will be fine. Maybe a little internet outage, maybe a little, stormy, a little funny clouds, a little extra paranormal activity. Now, and one other point I wanted to make, when we were talking about perspective and good and evil, I want people to realize this. It is all about perspective, man. Us as black people, we say that, we were enslaved and we the have-nots, and now us as common people, we say the Illuminati is in control of us, and we they're orchestrating our downfall and they're plotting on us. I say to you, man, don't you own a dog? Don't you eat chickens? Don't so how do these beings feel depressed? How does the forest feel that you had to get had to get a tree felt that he had to get cut down to build your house? So dare I say, the ones that's in control of us, maybe they look at us like we the chickens and we the dogs. Those higher beings, those.
It's old.
When you make statements like that, man, you make this discussion go on a little longer, man. You got to learn how to close it out, because I got something to say.
I'm closing with that. Something to think about.
Oh, man, you can play it. I don't care. Open it.
All right. Well, what I'll tell you is, yeah, that is, man, that's a great perspective on that, man. On, like you said, on good and evil. Yeah. Maybe they do look at that like that, but I would say this, man. You can't really speak for everybody as a whole when you say, yeah, black people as a whole, thing like that. Everybody's an individual. I don't think like that, and you got a lot of people who don't think. A lot of black people who don't think like that. We just kind of, like I said on the last episode, we just kind of been bamboozled. We get bamboozled and get put into things and get put into situations to where we don't know how to exactly just move out of our mind's way to get through it, and it is what it is. I mean, I think at this point, with the spiritual awakening that's going on all over the country, I think a lot of us are starting to wake up, and not just be woke, but actually wake up and come out of that sleep.
Yeah, straight up. Well, I guess Junior, y'all want to wrap it up?
That was on you.
AJ, you want to say something?
Don't take us out, Skinny.
All right, man. This been Just Talk Godcast podcast. You know what I'm saying? Internet New Block, your brothers, not your op. Top notch till I drop. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all check us out. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Don't be concerned about CERN. But if a demon is chasing your ass right now, you better run. We'll holler at y'all.
Don't call me. Call the police.